Hey y'all, this is another day of speaking my truth about, situations that happened in my life that made me view the world differently, how I view people, and etc. etc. So, this was around the time when my oldest son was about 1.5, 2 years old. And I also had my second child at the time was a baby. So this person that I knew invited me to their child's birthday party. And they had 3 kids at the time, 2 boys and then a little girl that was turning 1. And so I ended up going to the birthday party. And my kid's father at the time when we were together, kind of felt iffy about me going to these people's houses because, he had his opinion about white people. Just say, he didn't really trust them or whatever. And I told him, like, they haven't done anything or showed me anything for me to have any type of, you know, bad opinions on them. So I went to this birthday party for their child. And, I said hi to everybody and everything like that. So me and my kids ended up staying inside with like the AC and stuff like that. And so my older son ended up finding this little kid inside of the house to play with. And this kid was playing with toys that didn't belong to them but belonged to the person that invited me to the birthday party. So they were playing and everything like that. The mom of the kid was okay with it, okay? And the dad, you could tell how the dad's body language, how he was reacting to my son playing with his kid, that he just didn't like it. Like he was trying to find something to cut off my son playing with his kid. So boom, this is when he found his perfect opportunity. So his kid kind of like, they were still playing together, but not really playing together. Like his kid was kind of off to the side a little bit, and my kid was off to the side a little bit. And there was toys on the ground. So my son picks up a toy that his kid wasn't even paying attention to, wasn't even touching nothing. So my kid picks it up and like proceeds to play with it. Then his kid saw that my kid picked it up and wanted to play with it and tried to take the toy, whatever the case would be. So yeah. Then the dad of the kid comes along, starts this big situation. The mom is trying to be like, hey, it's not that big of a deal. Like, our kid wasn't even playing with it, blah, 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 blah. Like, the mom is trying to die down the situation. But this man was just kept going, kept going, kept going. And I'm like, what is your problem? Like, I'm literally like, what is your problem? Like, your kid didn't have this toy. And I just feel like you just looking for something to not have your kid play with my kid. Just say you don't want your kid to play with my kid. You get what I'm saying? So everybody in the house that was in the house at the time was just staring. Because, it is an awkward situation when something goes down, and you don't know what to do. And I get it. And so my friend, I guess you could call them a friend, invited me to their kids' birthday party. Like, she was in the house, her husband was outside the house with the kids, and she was inside the house talking to other people. And she saw the situation, saw what was going on, and she did nothing about it. She was just like, and I get it, it's an awkward situation to be put in. But to me, you're just as bad as your guest that just did that. And I feel like you're just as racist as this man that just did that to my kid and me, because you did not correct the situation. Like, she did not correct the situation. You get what I'm saying? And I don't believe she and her husband is racist, but I believe that To me, if you see that your friend that's white, just like you, is racially like trying to stir up something because of our skin color, because every other kid that was there, he didn't have no problem with his kid to play with. It was just my kid. He didn't want his kid to play with. You get what I'm saying? So to me, it made me feel like, okay, you don't like chocolate people. You get what I'm saying? And to me, if I'm one of your guests and I'm supposed to be your friend, and you see that one of your guests is treating me a certain way or treating my kid a certain way because of our skin color, you need to step in as a Christian person, number one, because, as a Christian person. And then number two, because the person is doing something wrong. And you sat back and you did not do anything. You did not try to correct the situation or nothing. So to me, I felt like she was just as racist as this man because she did not correct the situation like she needed to. Because me, if somebody's at my birthday party and they treated one of my guests disrespectful or rude, and my guest did not do nothing to you, honey, you gotta go. You gotta go home. You get what I'm saying? And the only thing that happened was that I packed my stuff up and I called my kid's father. I think I texted him or whatever and said, "Come pick me up, blah blah blah. I'm done with this party," or whatever it could be. And then so I walked outside and I was waiting, and she came outside and she apologized or whatever. But okay, you apologized, but you did not fix or correct the situation. You get what I'm saying? Like, so that apology really didn't really mean anything to me because you didn't sit there and fix the situation and let your friend that you invited or your husband invited, whoever invited this person, you didn't correct that person. You let them continue being racist because you did not put them in their place. You know what I'm saying? And this is why racism continues on, because you can be friends with somebody that claims they're not racist. Okay, like this person that I was friend with, I don't think she's racist, but since she probably has racist friends, and when the racist friends is around the black people that she knows or whatever the case may be, and they're attacking her friends that are black, you need to correct the situation. And I feel like in my case, she did not do that. And yes, her and her husband helped me and my children out in later on in the future. But that's why even when they were helping me out, I kind of made sure I put my boundaries with their friendship, because of the whole situation that happened a couple of years prior to that, or a couple of months prior. I don't know what it was, but yeah, no, a couple of years prior. So I keep my boundaries with certain people. Keep a wall with certain people because you just never know, you know. And I just felt like the situation should have been handled correctly, and I don't feel like it was. And like I said, I don't think she's racist, but since she allowed somebody that was being racist towards me and my child to let him think what he's doing is right and not try to correct the situation or be like, hey, what you're doing is not right, and just let it slide off. To me, I can't respect that as a person. So, yeah. But that's kind of a little bit of a story about, me dealing with that. And I think that was like my very first incident of me dealing with that kind of situation. So if anybody has dealt with that kind of situation, please leave, a comment down in below because I would love to hear your stories. Bye.